Okay, this is the round 12 Saturday disposal review. Missed the first game. I did take some notes down as a helicopter flies over, of course. Um, and I'm not touching the last game at TIO again. I just don't see the need to take the risk there. One moment while the helicopter flies over. Seems to happen every time. This time, every Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so I've entered the data for the two games in question, which is Collingwood versus West Coast and Western Bulldogs versus Geelong. A couple of interesting games there. I have already put some bets in on the Hawthorn game, which is now passed, but I'll just share those quickly. And of course, last night I had a win on the Melbourne Carlton game, albeit it took Matthew Kennedy to get 0 touches in the last quarter to stay under the line, so a bit lucky there. So let's go to the game. As I said, I've put all the data in. I've found that there's I haven't actually looked at it yet, but there's probably 10 different guys here that we want to have a look at. So firstly, just take a look at the recent form for the two teams. So the Bulldogs, you can see they're hovering around the 350 or 360 per week conceded. It's a little bit all over the place, so might need to be a little bit careful. Similarly, Geelong, actually they were miserly for a period, and then particularly in this game, whatever happened around 6, then it's sort of come back up to the 350 mark. Collingwood, a bit of an enigma. They are giving up more than they average for the last 3 weeks, but that is starting to come down again. And West Coast just always cough up disposals, basically. Sorry, red means they're giving up less. So Collingwood's starting to give up less than their average. Actually, I need to check what that means. That's probably quite... Yeah, a bit of a formatting issue. We'll fix that later. Anyway, if we have a look at the match notes quickly, which is not on screen. Bulldogs, we know that... I'll start with the Collingwood game, actually. So Don Sheed's 150th game. I think that might mean something. Shuey, Jones, McGovern, and Petreski-Seaton out. A lot in the back line there, the runners, so there might be something in the back coming off the back line. And obviously Collingwood have Steele Sidebottom out. That game is in Perth. The weather is good, so there's no issue there. The other games at Marvel, again, obviously weather not a factor. Jason Johannesson is still out, meaning Bailey Dale and Caleb Daniel probably have a bit more work there. Adam Treloar comes back in this week, which could see a drop in the likes of Liberatore, possibly McRae. Could be a little bit careful with them. We know that Geelong's midfield is fucked, basically. They're missing their 3 best midfielders, and then they get smacked in there. So that might be actually pushing Liberatore back up, something to consider. If we go to the disposal report, okay, we've got, how many guys have we got here? We've got 12 guys to go through. We'll do them in order. We'll start with the Collingwood game. So first player on the list is Jack Crisp. Why are they saying... Let me just check that. Over $1.60, really? I think I've got a data entry error there. Doesn't seem right to me. Jack Crisp. Over is 186. Let me just fix that quickly. Oh, what the hell happened there? Could change a few things. Okay, so under 191 is actually 190 now. He's moving slightly, but it's much of a muchness. So if we look at what West Coast and Optus Stadium does. Defenders tend to get a little bit less of the ball at Optus. However, West Coast tend to give up more disposals, just across the ground, basically. So that's going to balance out. It probably means that the West Coast aren't touching the ball. Is probably what's doing that. You can see that defenders do have... well, he's averaging sort of... In the last month, he's been a bit shit, as you can see there. A couple of 15s. So probably not going to take him at this point. We are seeing over the line as a value bet mildly. That's only because of his season propping up his recent form. So I think we'll leave that as a no and move on. Don't trust that brick. Okay, so Dacos. Oh, come on. Really? Josh Dacos. Okay, so Josh Dacos, line of 26.5. Again, he's a winger, come midfielder. Again, they're going to give up more disposals to his position than his usual average. Very down week last week against the Kangaroos. I'm actually not sure why that was, and probably should go back and have a look at that. But I think that's probably a bit of an anomaly. So what are we seeing here? We're actually so that's dragging his line down. So he's got a line of 26.5. He's clearing that most of the season, and last week, sort of suggesting that he's gone down a little bit. Maybe we'll just wait and see. He might be carrying an injury or something, so we'll leave him alone for now. Move on to his brother Nick Dacos. Again, had a couple of down weeks, and then he's on the comeback. So we are seeing 30 plus at value, which is probably what that Paul. No, something is wrong here. Expected odds, actual odds. Sorry, I have made some changes to the sheet, and that's wrong. That should be showing value. Oh no, it's correct. Okay. So we think he's going to clear that, but we're expecting 159. We're getting $1.30. So again, that 25 and the 27, a couple of 27. So he's actually dropped below that 30 mark a few times now. He's got a line of 33.5. I just don't want to take on the Eagles. They're that shit that they could get up 50 to him. So let's keep moving. Jordan De Goey. Okay, he's had that one down game there against Sydney. That can happen. Everything. Oh, he's had a couple of them actually. So what are we seeing here? We're saying that we're projecting him to score somewhere between 25 and 27. He's got a line of 26.5. I don't mind the 25.5 here. My only concern is, will he give a shit enough when they get up high? He's not the kind of guy that just tries to rack the ball up. I'm going to come back on that one. Make a decision a bit later depending on what kind of value that there is. Let's go to Tom Mitchell. Okay, line of, well, okay. His line is apparently too high. So he is going to get a bump up to 27.5 because he's a midfielder playing West Coast and they're going to give up more of the ball. But they're still setting that line high. Again, I don't want to take on the Eagles under the lines, so I'm just going to leave it once again. This is the one I've been waiting for. I saw this and it looked very wrong. Okay, injury and sub has pushed him way down. We can ignore these because they're misreading things. So if you look at his recent form, 20, 31, 21, 23, over 20 is $1.30. I actually like him there at over 20. I think he's a pretty safe bet at over 20 generally, especially he's going to play on the ball. We're expecting $1.11. We're getting $1.29. You can see at the top there, actually, these were the bets I've taken earlier. I aim on over 20.5, Nash and Butters to go over 25. That was coupled in with Adelaide plus 10.5 tonight. So we will take a bet on Pendlebury there. Best pick at 20 plus. Let's stay on the West Coast game actually. I'll go to Tim Kelly, so I think they're in alphabetical order. Okay, 25 plus $1.38 is pretty solid there. Collingwood does give a slight drop to, sorry, actually gives a slight bump to midfielders. So to be honest, they've got no one else there at all. I'm quite happy to take him at over 25. Pretty slim odds, but good enough. We're expecting $1.15. We're getting $1.38. Let's take that as a yes. Okay, Dom Sheed. Okay. Bit up and down. So his last game against Essendon is what's screwing him here. I've got him easily clearing well, not easily, but going over that line of 24.5. We're expecting it's about 25.5. What are we getting? We're getting $1.87 at the line. I'm very tempted to take him. I think I am going to take him. Because if we do this and remove this last game, you can see everything changes. We're actually getting really good value at 20. Oh geez, 20 is pretty good, isn't it? You almost can't miss at 20. I might take him there. Because you'd probably get 20. I might take a couple of options with him, one at 20 and one at 25. So we're expecting $17. We're getting $1.22. I'll also pop him down here at over his line. And line over. What is his line? 24.5. 25 plus is $1.94. That's interesting. Oops. They do that sometimes. Take that one instead. Ends up the same in a multi anyway, but which makes us feel a bit better. Okay. Dominic Sheed will be a yes. I wanted to look at this guy too. Elliot Yeo. Yep. So he came back and got 24 last week, and I don't have my phone with me, but I assume he's playing off the back line with Jermaine Jones out. I actually quite like him. If we just remove this, I'm not actually what I was going to do here. Okay, we're seeing. I'm going to take him at 20 plus, just to be safe. That extra half a disposal can really fuck you sometimes. Get myself demonetized if I had sponsors. We're expecting $1.67, and we're getting. Oops, we're getting $1.70. That's not. Why are we expecting $1.67? I need to correct that. We're actually expecting better than that. We're expecting about $1. Really, it would be $1, but there's a calculation that's wrong in there because it should remove these games that he's played here. Does that do anything? No. Okay. Okay, Don Sheed was over here as well. We'll hustle a little bit. We move on to the next game because we've only got 2 minutes of this recording left. We're going to leave out the goey then, I think. Okay, let's start with Tom Stewart. Let's get rid of this filter. Okay, he's had the one bad game here. Not sure what's happened there, but I don't think that's going to happen again. I think we can pull that out as an outlier. It will be removed anyway. So we see he should be getting about 25, and that's where they've set it. Tom Stewart's normally pretty good for 20, to be honest. You'd be pretty hard pressed to stop him getting 20, especially the Bulldogs. So we'll take it. It's value. I'll keep going there. Expected odds $1.15. We're getting $1.24. So yes. Liberatore. Now this is interesting. He had a real big run, and then he had a bad game last week. You know what? I actually don't want to touch it because we don't know what the re-inclusion of Treloar is going to do. And again, even with Treloar, don't really want to take him because you just don't know how he's going to come back from that injury. It's pretty rare you get $1.54 at 25. Look, he should be fit. That's the thing. It's tempting, but I think I'll leave it. So I think in summary, these are our best picks here. Not getting huge odds today, but got the Sheed there at $1.94 to prop that up if you wanted to. Good luck.